Let me start with a number that should shake us all. 8 million. That's exactly how many people die prematurely every single year from air pollution caused by burning fossil fuels. That's more than population of Singapore and New Zealand combined and gone. And that staggering figure doesn't even include the lives lost to climate-driven flights, famines, and heat wave. This isn't just an environmental issue, it's the greatest public health and moral crisis of our time. Now, you might think, I'm just one person. How does my electricity bill connect to a global crisis? The connection is direct. The energy we choose to power our homes, our transport, and our economy fuels either the problem or the solution. This is about the air our children breathe, the stability that shapes our future job market, and food prices, and the very legacy of justice or injustice we will leave behind. This choice is happening right now, on our watch. Like many of you, I've watched this crisis unfold in the news with growing sense of urgency. I'm not a climate scientist or a policy expert, but I am someone who believes in making informed decisions. That's why I've spent weeks researching this topic, not from blogs with an agenda, but from the world's most respected authorities on global issues, the United Nations, the World Economic Forums, and leading energy analysts. I stand before you today to share what they have made undeniably clear. Opting for a rapid transition to renewable energy is not a political preference or a lifestyle trend. It is our fundamental moral responsibility to protect human health, uphold global justice, and secure a livable planet. To understand this moral imperative, we will first confront the grave problem, the profound injustice and harm caused by our fossil fuel dependency. Second, we will identify the dismantle a major myth holding us back. Finally, we will embrace the profound benefits, the healthier, more stable and fair world that this choice guarantees. Let's begin by looking honestly at the problem we have created. Our addiction to the fossil fuels is not merely unsustainable. It is actively unethical, creating a dual crisis of global injustice and environmental degradation. First, it fuels a profound climate injustice. The emissions from our power plants, industries and cars are destabilizing the climate. But who pays the highest price? As the United Nations in 2024 makes clear, it is the world's most vulnerable, developing nations and future generations who have done the least to cause the crisis, who face the most severe droughts, rising seas, and failed harvests. We are imposing a life sentence of hardship on the innocent. Second, the damage goes far beyond carbon. The entire fossil fuel life cycle, from extraction to combustion, poisons our shared home. As the energy experts at Schneider Electric stress, this is why responsible renewables matter. They highlight that the toxic air and water pollution from burning coal, oil, and gas leads to those millions of preventable deaths annually and degrades the ecosystems on which all life depends. This isn't an accident. It is a direct consequence of an unethical energy choice. Confronted with this stark reality, we must ask, is there a way out? The answer is yes, but it requires us to move past a persistent myth. A rapid and full-scale transition to wind, solar, and other renewables is the only practical and ethical solution. Yet, many are told it won't work. A common objection is that renewables are too unreliable and expensive, that when the sun sets or the wind comes, the lights go out. This view is dangerously outdated. Let's refute it. The World Economic Forum in 2016 explains that the value of renewables goes beyond climate change, thanks to rapid advancements in smart grids and battery storage that perfectly manage intermittency. More importantly, the United Nations in 2024 reports that renewables are now the cheapest power option globally. The true unreliability and cost lie with fossil fuels. Their volatile prices and the immense unpaid health and environmental bills they force society to pay. Therefore, the solution is not just technical, it must be ethical in its execution. A just transition means creating retraining programs for fossil fuel workers, so no community is left behind, and deploying solar microgrids in undeserved areas to lift people out of energy poverty. As Niger Electric argues, this is what makes responsible renewables matter. A transition managed with fairness and inclusion at its core. By choosing this responsible path, we don't just avoid disaster, we actively build a better world. Embracing renewables delivers a future that is not just survivable, but profoundly better. The most immediate benefit is a cleaner, healthier world. Imagine cities free from smoke, where children don't develop asthma from the air they breathe. Fulfilling our basic duty to safeguard health, we move toward a more equitable and sustainable future that the United Nations in 2024 promises through renewable energy access. Ultimately, this path secures our greatest legacy, a stable, prosperous planet for our children. The World Economic Forum in 2016 concludes that renewables are the foundation for a resilient global economy and a peaceful society. By choosing them, we choose to leave behind a world defined not by scarcity and conflict, but by abundance and stability. In conclusion, the evidence leaves us with a clear crossroads. We have seen the problem, a system that is unjust and destructive. We have found the solution, a rapid, just transition to clean energy, and we have claimed the benefits, a legacy of health, equity, and stability. This is where more responsibility meets personal action. I am not asking you to single-handedly transform the grid. I am asking you to become an advocate for the solution. This week, you can choose a green energy tariff from your utility provider. This month, you can support a business committed to 100% renewable power. And from today forward, you can use your voice. Call your local representative, talk to your friends, and demand policies that accelerate a fair transition. Make this ethical choice a non-negotiable part of your life. The philosopher Edmund Burke once said, "Nobody made a greater mistake than he who did nothing because he could only do a little." Do not underestimate the power of your choice. The future is not a distant shore we hope to reach. It is the legacy we are building with the energy we choose today. Let us choose wisely, let us choose justly, let us choose renewables. Thank you.